okay, shall we work from home? How many hours?
Right.
Yeah, like how many hours a week? Or this one is really my dream.
Hello everyone! From dramas to webtoons to novels, explore Korea's story with us. This is Who Reads Story. My name is An Sung-jin. I'm a news reporter. I would like to introduce our guest, Andrea.
Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Andrea. I'm from Colombia and now I'm a master's student here.
Great to have you again, Andrea. We've had you on many episodes, but it's nice to have you again with us on a Friday evening.
Yes.
Yes, and what we will be talking about today kind of reflects the season. Now that we enter fall, fall kind of gives the vibe of, literature, book reading, time for you to own that serenity, which is why we will be talking about this novel, Welcome to the Hyunam-dong Bookshop, which is by author Hwang Bo-reum. Not only has this book been gaining a lot of popularity within Korea, but it has also been gaining a lot of global readers.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's actually interesting to see that it's been gaining a lot of popularity outside of Korea because it mostly has been translated and published in other countries, including within Europe, the US, Turkey, and Poland. Surprisingly, it has been ranked #1 in Japan for the translated fiction section. And in Turkey, the copy itself has been sold more than 80,000 copies. So
that's a lot.
That's a lot, and it does seem to be showing this popularity as it has also been a candidate for the Dublin Literary Award. So we really do see how this has been gaining a lot of global appeal outside of Korea.
So we are talking about books also, like inside of the book, like through the recommendations and how like the main character, that in this case is Jung-jo, like she mentioned that like when you are reading, it's like when you are like kind of traveling like to different stories. So I think that that's kind of a good thing also about this book, that you somehow remember how is to be a reader.
Right, yes, Youngju kind of does delve into that dimension of how to become a reader, and as you mentioned, because as the title suggests, it is talking about a bookshop. We kind of delve into the book itself. Now, to briefly talk about how the plot of the book itself goes, now Youngju, the main character that we've been talking about, she has this successful corporate job, but she quits that after she experiences burnout throughout her life, and she opens this small bookshop in Hyunam-dong, which is why the title is Welcome to the Hyunam-dong Bookshop. And she finds all these, people and these characters, and it's all about kind of comforting each other and how these people end up healing and moving forward. And that's what I think I like about this book, is that it isn't about having these dramatic incidents where like people go through such hardships and blah blah blah, but it's more so how these people like us, these
everyday
ordinary
lives,
people go through their everyday lives, and they just kind of explore that and really come through out of it. And for you, Andrea, who did you relate to the most out of all the people that we've just talked about?
Oh, I think that's somehow a difficult question, because I think that I have like
bits of everyone,
like a mix. But then probably between Jeonju and Minjun.
Right.
Because like with her, I have seen that, okay, she started, but at the same time it's like, okay, I'm going to find a way like to find myself. And then I have loved books all my life, so maybe I can do something with that. And then with him, what I find that I think that can happen like to a lot of people, and it is that the way that I'm living my life, my parents are proud of that, and how like to live like with these decisions. So my decisions are the right decisions. The things that I'm choosing are the things that I should choose, or should I go another way?
Now that we've talked about the character, I'd like to go in a bit to the theme of the novel itself. What's interesting, as we've just talked about with the main character, is that the characters within the book keep on questioning the concept of work.
Yes.
This idea of having a job, and I think that's interesting, and it's very necessary in a modern day life too.
Yes, because like even nowadays we have these discussions like, okay, shall we work from home? How many hours?
Right.
Yeah, like how many hours a week? Or this one is really my dream. The things that I'm doing are the things that like are made me happy somehow or not. So yeah, it's truly what I want to do. And then also about success. Like what is really success? And like this definition of, okay, so you kind of reach like certain age, and then you should get married
right.
and then have
the
kids.
Expectations.
Yes.
Right.
And then like all of these questions and ideas like from society, from our families, everything. I think that somehow like with the book you can think a little bit of that. And somehow people from everywhere can relate like with the characters in that sense about the questions.
Right. I relate to what you just said. I feel like in our lives, the fundamental is, you know, how to live life, which includes work, job, like meeting expectations of the society. But also at the same time, while reading the book, I do end up thinking that, you know, at the end of the day, life isn't all about your work, right? People talk about the work-life balance. You have other things that are important in your life that are beyond the aspect of work or corporate jobs and stuff like that. For you, Andrea, you know, I feel like I keep on throwing these questions to you.
It's all right.
But, you know, as for you, for someone that's living away from home and, you know, as someone that also has talked about the importance of or the power of community, would you say, is there anything that helped you while you were settling here in Korea? Or maybe now, even after you've settled?
I think that, well, I'm really far away from home.
Right.
And then I have a 14-hour difference. So like
That's
when I
very
am
difficult.
kind of living my life, my family and friends, they are sleeping.
Right.
Or the other way around. So like kind of reach out, it's difficult.
Right.
So I think the friends that I have here can like, they have helped a lot.
Surely.
Like to feel better,
Right.
like I have been sick sometimes, and
of course.
like being sick, like so far away from home, sometimes is like kind of difficult.
It's depressing, yeah.
So just like to have people even just asking you like, oh, how are you feeling? Sometimes that helps.
Right. I guess that, you know, it's not only about having people around you, but perhaps having those that care about you also really matter because, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes there are problems that you can't really overcome on your own and you get the help from other people. And that's why, you know, the power or the importance of community comes out. And I think that's something that this book or the novel highlights as well, the importance of community. And I feel like that's why this book has been gaining a lot of popularity, not only within Korea as well, but it's been getting a global appeal because it reflects all these aspects that we can, you know, relate to, even if we're from different countries. And maybe that's why, you know, even if the background itself is set in Korea, so many people can empathize with it. They can really reflect on their own selves and also read the book with so much serenity, you know, so much peace. And obviously there's a lot within the book that happens, different characters, different situations. Is there any part that particularly stuck to you?
Well, there were many, like one short one that was not the most is like, well, I'm from Colombia,
Right.
and then they're talking about coffee.
Of course, cannot miss.
And they are just mentioning like how they are roasting the coffee and everything. So I was like, oh yeah, they're mentioning my country. But like,
Shout out to Colombia.
but apart from that, well, so when I was reading, there were two scenes that I kind of really like. There is one in which Jeonju is with Minjun, like kind of while they are working, there are no customers, and then she sits like close to him. And she kind of reflect like, even with silence, like we can get like comfort.
Right.
We don't need to talk. Yeah. So that part I really like it. And then there was another one that when we know a little bit more about like Minjun background, and he meets like a friend, and then they went to eat and they are having soju, and while they are talking, he's talking about like the buttons, like of the shirt, and like how it's, I don't know, how you are going through life, and then at the same time you are kind of buttoning like this shirt, like okay, you are going through this way, and after this and after that, you have like how it should be, like the steps that you should take,
steps, right?
Like for being successful. And I think that somehow that's not a Korean thing. That's something that you have like with the expectations everywhere, and like a way that you should take like in order to be happy and be successful. So I think that that part was really interesting. How he also used this metaphor to talk about like
the buttons,
life.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like sometimes Koreans can be very result oriented because it's not about the process, it's about what you end up bringing out from it. Right. And for me, I guess the part that I enjoyed the most kind of is similar to what you mentioned. You know, the part that talks about how what we think is right may not always be the answer in life kind of stuck out to me, because obviously when we're living life, I guess we tend to think that what I put out there is correct, or at least that's what we hope for.
Yeah.
But you know, life isn't always about that. Sometimes things change, so you shouldn't always be clinging to your own perception or your own whatever stigma perhaps you maybe have in life, because that isn't always correct. You know, life always changes. It's
no black and white.
This book could be a good recommendation. Now, that is all we have for today's novel on Welcome to the Hyunam-dong Bookshop. Andrea, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
That is all we have for Who Reads Story today. Goodbye.
Thank you.